Press start.
Now let's talk about Sea of Stars. Sea of Starfield. No,
Oh.
Sea of Stars. Another ult. Did I miss something else?
No.
Okay. Sea of Stars. Okay, so don't let it be overlooked. This is one of the best RPGs this year and in a while, and certainly kind of in this this pixel perfect whatever this old school pixelated what's the word we want to look for, like revitalization, whatever the word is.
It's just pixelated, yeah.
It is in the vein of 16-bit art. Yeah.
But yeah, there's been kind of like a resurgence of this style, and sometimes it's done fine, and sometimes it's done amazingly. And I think this is an example of when it's done really well. Not only with the look, but just the way the game plays, the characters move, the animations, the combat,
the lighting. There's a lot of like changing, like it's like just seeing how the lighting works and stuff like that too. I'm like, oh, you couldn't do this on Super Nintendo. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Even the sound of the text coming up as you're talking to people, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm playing Super Nintendo or PS1 right now.
It was kind of like that. What the hell was that game that I played? That like cyberpunky type game. Now I'm forgetting. Anno Mutation.
Oh, Anno Mutation is such a good game. Yeah.
That was very similar. It's like it's visually like what you're actually seeing is like the pixels and everything, but like
I don't think those are on the same level at all, though. I'm gonna be
but I'm saying as far as shadowing and lighting and the way that things move, there's a level of detail of a modern game, but the actual look of the game is pixelated.
Got it.
I agree completely.
It literally is. Jeff, you need new glasses. You need new glasses.
He's not saying they look alike. He's saying that they're. That doesn't matter. I'm not invested enough to argue about this.
The last time I played a game that was clearly inspired by Chrono Trigger, like whoever made it just loves Chrono Trigger, was Cosmic Star Heroine, which is an awesome game. I've
never played it, but yeah,
it's a really good time. It's really well done. I highly recommend it if you like Chrono Trigger. Now, of course, the new standard has been set, I think, with Sea of Stars. This is a much better love letter to Chrono Trigger, but that one was pretty good. But I do think it's very easy to draw the lines from the SNES Classic Chrono Trigger to this. There's also little pieces of things like Super Mario RPG with like the timing on hits and blocks and all that stuff.
Those were like the two games that they referred to. Like, I don't know if you guys ended up watching that documentary of the studio itself, but they said it was basically Chrono Trigger and like Mario RPG were like the two big inspirations to wanting to when they decided to make an RPG. So
Dan, you've been a supporter of this game for a while, even Kickstarter, right? Didn't you tell us you're welcome for that?
I didn't do the Kickstarter, but I remember when it was kickstarted, which apparently was like right when the pandemic like hit. So that must have been why I like missed it, because I just wasn't even aware in all the chaos. And my wife and I were buying a house, so I probably would have like actually done the Kickstarter, but I wasn't even aware of the game.
Yeah, your name would have been not added to the tomb.
Yeah.
Or you could have put a quote of anything you wanted, and it had to be like obviously it's safe for work. And somebody put in where that'll be Tree Fitty, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's funny. Oh, that's so funny.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Tree Fitty.
It'll be Tree Fitty. So, but Dan, you also just played Chained Echoes, another game in the same kind of vein. What do you think of this one so far? And is it meeting your expectations based on the demo and everything you knew about it?
Clearly, having a bigger team and a bigger budget goes a long way.
Yeah.
And not to say by any means that Chained Echo is an ugly game at all, but that was done by one person. He outsourced the music, which is incredibly impressive. What is there? But yeah, like if you're not Jeff, right, and you appreciate pixelated games, and you can see the nuances and you can see the level of detail, like Sea of Stars is clearly like better visually quality.
The Chained Echoes, for sure.
Yeah, but not by like an insane margin. It's not like Chained Echoes is like a 5 out of 10 visually, and this is a 10 out of 10. But it's definitely better. It's the lighting, like you said, Tim, the shadowing, the reflections off of like water and stuff like that is really phenomenal. Like a lot of modern game
the color palette's a lot brighter too. I feel like the game's a lot more vibrant. Like there's
when you get to that water, that first little water area, you're like, okay, they're doing some things with this.
Actually, when you get to that abandoned wizard lab, oh my god, dude, the colors are just so good.
But even did a really good job, like focusing on color popping. You know, for sure.
Well, and the character animations, like their little movements and the enemies you're fighting, like the animations are very detailed.
But even nighttime, which can be tricky, like in a 3D game, like trying to get lighting to be good at night, right? Because you don't want it to be too dark where you literally can't see a damn thing, but you don't want it to be so bright where it's like, well, this isn't quite realistic. It should be dark in here. In this game, like the moonlight kind of bouncing off of surfaces is really nice too.
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, but it's just it's beautiful. The color palette's beautiful. The music is phenomenal. Fun note. Matsuda, I forget his full name, but Matsuda, who is the composer for Chrono Trigger, Xenogears. Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Games Jeff will die never playing.
Sure. You should at least play Chrono Trigger. I mean, you should at least play Chrono Trigger.
I don't think you should. No, not him. Him specifically? No.
Wait,
I'm gonna stick with the new stuff.
We're gonna wait and hear what he thinks about this because I have a feeling he likes this, and you would like Chrono Trigger if you like this. But keep going, Dan.
Yeah, but yeah, very famous composer. Obviously, has contributed a lot to music in games like the couple that I just listed. But he
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Did he do Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there was like a team of people that did it, and he was.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah. So then there you go. Yeah, he's made some
prolific.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Prolific. He's quite prolific. Yes. So he contributed some songs to the development, which is amazing. In the documentary, they're like, yeah, we kind of like were like shooting for the stars, like maybe a song, and he made like a few of them. So like it blew their mind. They're like, we can't believe he even responded, let alone was like, oh yeah, no, this sounds amazing. I'm gonna contribute like a few songs. It's like that's insane. And I don't know which ones he has done. I feel like early on there was maybe like one or two where like this feels like really distinct, but yeah, just the music overall really, really good as well. I don't know if you guys have found the music to stick out.
I love the music.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. There's been some real foot tappers already, so.
Yeah.
There's a couple characters that seem to even have their own themes. I don't know if they do, but the way the music kicks in for certain characters that you meet, I'm like, is this just a track that'll loop back later, or is this like, because you know how Chrono Trigger did that? You'd have like Frog's theme and Robo's theme and whatever.
Yep.
I like the music too, even though like I'm not coming at I have very little experience with these types of games, as I have covered many times before on this podcast. But yeah, the music going for that, I know what they're trying to do. That's my point. Is like they're trying to cross retro sounds that what do you call it? 16? I don't even know what they call it.
MIDI,
MIDI, yeah.
Chiptune.
They're midifying, if you could call it that.
Sure.
Actual modern sounds. It's really impressive.
Because you can hear there's like one area where there's like a flute. There's like a distinct flute. Like it actually sounds like a flute.
They do something in the editing of it where it's like it sounds more like it's coming from a computer, and it's clearly coming from an actual instrument. It's so impressive. I don't know how they did it.
It's very cool. And it feels like it would belong in a game back on the Super NES of that generation. So, but like still also feeling modern, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And the two so you have a couple of characters which are the Solstice Warriors. So you have like the moon and the sun. I don't know if they're actually related. I don't know if I like missed something where they mentioned they related or not.
We know that some eagle dropped them off at a village.
Yeah, it's like a stork sort of situation where they were dropped off at a village.
But apparently, when that happens, those people are destined to become
these
like
warriors,
the Solstice Warriors or whatever. Yeah, it's just kind of how this goes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think maybe there's like a big bad somewhere that has been like sealed away or something like that.
Yeah.
And
when there's some apprehension with like your teachers who like kind of know more about what's going on and don't really agree that you're going to the training. Yeah. So it's there was some immediate mysteries that I was like, oh yeah, and the main guy who's like running the Knot cult, I'm like, there's something going on with this guy. Like it's like there's enough there where you're like, okay, I'm interested kind of immediately of what's happening, even though I don't. Even where I'm at right now, quite know, besides we're going to go kill the evil, what the actual story is.
Right.
I think a lot of things have been set up that are pretty nice.
Some kind of like invasive creature that if you don't kill it, it'll become this world-ending.
It gets worse, right?
And you have to kill it on like the solstice or something.
When there's an eclipse or something.
Yeah, the eclipse. That's what it was. Yeah.
And I'm sure when we get to that point, then it'll kind of explain. Probably more will be explained, and
Act 1 will be done, and then you'll.
Because they quiz you on this stuff. That's why I remember.
They do. Yeah, they give this quiz you on its lore. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
But shout out also to the third character who's not a Solstice Warrior. He's just a regular Joe Schmo. But there is something about him though, pure of heart sort of, almost like Link from Zelda's situation of
he's Samwise.
He's Samwise,
yeah. Or Samwise, sure, yeah. Or Samwise.
Potatoes. He's got potatoes.
Okay, and he's cooking for you. Come on.
Yeah. He's cooking for you. Yeah. Even uses a pot lid as a shield.
He's the best.
But like the moment like where like he kind of comes back. And you actually see the sprites actually like hug, like there's actually a distinct, like you can tell that they're hugging because they see him again, like after like that initial of kind of like the
10 years.
Like, the 10-year gap there. And they're like, oh my God, it's you. And then they're like hugging and it's like a really sweet moment. But yeah, just that really like awesome, like, yeah, dude, like we're still friends. Don't worry about it. I haven't seen you guys in 10 years, but like
we're good. I've been planning for this.
Yeah, I've been planning. I've been training. Like he's been in the hyperbolic time chamber, Kyle. He's been training, and he's just ready to go. And he's gonna cook for you. He's gonna teach you how to cook. Like it's just it's like a really good vibe of the trio right out the gate. Like when you get to that point, you're like, all right, I really want to like see what happens here. And like, God, if anything happens to Garl, I swear to God, if anything happens to Garl,
I will burn Utica to the ground. Wait, that's a office quote.
Yes, no, absolutely, burn Utica, absolutely, 100%.
Or wherever they made the game, I don't know. I'll burn it to the ground.
Combat is similar to Super Mario RPG. So there's timed button prompt mechanic there. Extra damage when you strike an enemy, less damage when you receive a hit, which I'm actually kind of struggling a little bit. The enemies are fast, right? They're kind of fast.
Well, and they're all have different like tells too.
Yeah, the timing is different for all of them.
Well, and sometimes the game is bull crap. It's not my fault the game sucks and doesn't respond to my buttons.
There has been a lot of that. We're like, okay, I didn't get that.
Okay, all right. Game, okay.
So not just me.
No, but they also have these relics because there's no easy mode, but the relics can make it easy mode. And I'm using
I love
one.
that they have those. Yeah.
So you can have a relic that will either time your attacks and defenses perfectly for you every time. You can do that. There's other relics too, like increased power, increased health, increased defense, whatever else. But then the one that I have equipped is the one that gives you a really clear indication that you've successfully done the defense or attack timing. It shoots like a little star up. So I turn that one on because it's not really making me stronger in the game. No. It's just giving
a nice visual representation.
It's giving me feedback like, okay, I nailed the timing on that.
I turn that on too just to get more flair to the game. That's really the only reason. There's no difficulty thing that it does. It's just it just helps. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Similar to Final Fantasy 16, which is actually ironic because that just came out recently too.
And actually there are way more than like 16 has like 2 or 3 or whatever.
There's a bunch.
But like this one has like you go to different vendors and you have several more. I found one that gave me a 10% discount at all the vendors.
Yeah, that's cool.
Easily equip that one. Hell yeah, you equip that one.
Yeah, buying that one. That's
crazy. Not an easy mode thing. That's just a common.
That's just a coupon. That's
you bought you're subscribed.
That's a life
fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I should have bought that first, but then I bought the weapons first, and I was like, "What's this do?" Oh, son of a bitch!
Yeah, I just wasted
$200. But the other ones I have enabled are definitely like because like I said, this genre is still a little foreign to me. I just ended up equipping I think there's one that's called Storytelling Relic or something like that, and I equipped that one. That one's like take less damage. I think that's what that one does.
I think so. Yeah.
And that's the only one I ended up really equipping aside from the parry.
I think it's like take less damage and auto heal at the end of every battle or something.
Auto heal, that's what it is. So
which is great.
Take less damage and auto heal because when I didn't have take less damage equipped, I was getting. Bro,
this game is not easy.
Boss fights
it's not easy. Are
like I guess my characters are dead for a few turns. Like
he stomped me. I guess I should attack his sword, or something. I'm like, there's been a couple times where I hit like, oh, okay.
Just so there's a little bit of variety here. Like I haven't equipped any of that. I'm like, God damn, like some of these fights I'm like, seriously, really? Like because like they'll be like a group of 4 enemies and like one of them will be kind of like a bigger enemy and it's like they're doing way more damage than but then like you have like those extra ancillary enemies off to the side, so everything's just chipping away at you.
The things that do a group heal can kiss my wiener or something.
Sure.
They're just so insufferable. I'm like, what do you mean group heal? It's so like, it's just.
Oh, everyone's just back to full.
And I did have a really proud moment of doing. I think 18 is my max boomerangs that I've done. Where I just got through rhythm. Nice. And I was like, oh man, I've got to keep going.
I've done it until it just like ends the thing. Like it'll just stop.
It never ends.
I think 20.
Really?
So, somebody did like 125 and recorded it.
Oh, okay. Because I got the trophy for 25. So. Yeah. But
25
is saying 100 something.
Like, somebody captured that they got like 120 something. Okay. And it's on the subreddit.
Wow. That's crazy.
Which is actually you know what? I just realized too. I literally just
it must be going like
that's an homage to Super Mario RPG because Mario has the special the super jump, and you can technically
you can keep bouncing.
Yeah, you keep bouncing, but you got to time it. So you can get up to 100, and I think you actually get an item in the game if you can get to 100 in Super Mario RPG. So that must be an homage.
Doesn't it start making like the extra life noise from the old Mario games as you jump it? It's like, doesn't it do that after?
No, it might at some point, but I think the highest I've ever gotten.
In my head, in my memory, for some reason, it does the thing in Mario where like there makes these little click noises, and then it eventually starts doing a little like charm, like you're making an extra life.
It might.
I don't know if it does or not, but in my head, that's what it does. But so there's also, when you're in combat, there's these little boxes that will sometimes come up if the enemy's prepping a special move, right? They can do a normal attack, and it'll give you a little timer, like a little actual timer on them, tell you how many rounds or turns that someone's going to take till they attack, which is nice. I actually do kind of like that turn-based element. And then there's a way you can interrupt if you're able to pull off a certain number of elemental or weapon type attacks on them. And early in the game, some of these are impossible to hit. I'm just like, dude, I can't hit them with 3 slashing attacks and 2 moon attacks before he does 1 turn. Like, what kind of move is this? I can't make this happen.
Well, I noticed something, and I don't know if this is actually the case or not, and I don't know if maybe that's where you were going, Tim. There's a percentage on the corner of those boxes. I don't know if you noticed, and it's like strength or something like that, or power, I think.
Oh, I have noticed. Yeah, you can weaken their attack. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Chip away some of those boxes. Yes. Then it's gonna, I would think, diminish the power.
So that's kind of how I approach it.
There's a percentage, that diminishes.
But if you can get all of them, it'll stop that move from even happening, which is kind of usually what
take
I'm
their
thinking.
Turn away. Yeah.
I'm trying to minimize, because as I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, I'm learning that one of the best ways to think of these fights is just minimize damage to your party, and you're going to be really successful. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing in that game and in this game as well. But anyway, sometimes it is pretty tough. So this is one of those games that if someone says, hey, I'm going to equip every relic I get that I can, at least as I go, do it, man. Like, and like, this game is tough. But I'm not like mad at the game for being tough, because they give you plenty of tools to combat like how difficult it is.
Usually you're doing
in the first
something
2
wrong.
hours you'll find something that's like
you're doing something wrong if you're dying too. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like, well, this is just like,
it's unfair.
I guess I'm not high enough level. I got to go grind. It's like, no, you just did something wrong.
It's a narrative. It's not like Octopath where it's like grind. It's narrative driven. Pretty much.
Yeah. The pacing they're a little more in tune with like wanting you to get through something, whereas Octopath, absolutely, you're right, where it's like, hey, you need to spend the next 5 hours grinding. It's like, okay.
They have these little surprise like animated cutscenes too that all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is
I love that.
Yeah.
This is neat.
I kind of forgot that was going to be in there.
Yeah, same.
Those are cool little, and it kind of reminds me of a few other, again, old school RPGs where all of a sudden it'll do a cutscene. You're like, whoa, that's gorgeous, and then back to your overhead.
If this is like Mario RPG, I'm gonna love when that remake comes out.
Yeah, Mario RPG penned this style.
Incredibly
of gameplay
charming.
For sure.
I am gonna love that game.
The combat style.
The combat.
That's what I mean.
The combat
That's what I mean.
Yeah, the story is not going to be like it's definitely a little more like straightforward. It's not as like, oh my god,
it's a Mario.
The real charm in that game is
yeah.
just watching Mario like murder stuff.
Although the stuff with Mallow and Gino.
Oh yeah, Mallow. Yeah, absolutely, Mallow and Gino, 100%.
I'm totally digging the characters too. The characters are charming. The writing is very, very good. Like, it's actually making me like, man, whether it's your buddy, the non-Solstice Warrior buddy that you first get, or some of the other characters you get that you team up with from the demo. If you play the demo, you team up with some of them, and all that stuff is super charming. Even the one pirate that you talk to, actually kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit and talks to you about what you expect in the game. I don't know. I loved that.
Where she mentions the blacksmith, the thing about the blacksmith. I was like, oh my god, that's so...
That inexplicably is stronger every town you go to.
Yeah, like, every town you go to. Dude, I was laughing for like a whole 2 minutes.
I love that.
It's very on the nose. Yeah. But yeah, that was really funny.
But that's true. Like, blacksmiths in these games get progressively more skilled for some reason as you go through these games.
It totally makes sense. Absolutely. 100%. There's also actually, hold on real quick about combat too. And it's wrapped into the story. This concept of what is it? Doing magic without using magic or something. I forget what the exact saying of it is.
Boosting,
Which is like basically like these orbs of like sort of like energy that fall on the floor when you hit an enemy. that you can absorb.
Some kind of mana or whatever it's called.
Yeah, mana, energy.
Just enhances or buffs all your next attacks or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. But it plays
and you can
into
let them
those
just sit
boxes
there
too.
For 3
Yeah, you can let them sit there and you can build them up.
Build them up.
Feels so good.
But
Similar to
nice
Octopath,
Yeah, but it's nice with the boxes.
It is, yeah, different packaging, but yeah, it is. It is very similar. Oh, that's very observant. Yeah.
Yep.
That's actually what I was looking for in this game. Was like, I hope they do attack boost because I love that aspect of Octopath.
Yes,
same. It's
where I just sit there each turn and then I have 4 queued up and I'm like, I'm gonna beat the shit out.
Not
of
a lot of
games
do that.
I'm gonna do the big massive magic attack.
Those 2 games do that really well. Not a lot of games do that, but those 2 do it really
definitely.
Well.
I like that. I like how it wraps into the, like you said, with the boxes. The boxes because you can either do your special abilities, right?
Yeah.
So if you do like the moonsicle attack where you're bouncing off of everything to chip away at those boxes where that has the moons, instead you can absorb as what's her name? Can't remember her name right now.
Something with a V.
Valerie.
Yeah, Valerie, I think. You can actually absorb the mana from her, and then it'll actually count as one of those boxes. So it's not just the physical attacks, but it actually counts
because it'll power up your
magic attack.
Yeah, you've attuned.
Oh, I see. It's a powering. Oh, okay. It's attuned to that
like
magic, that
moon
magic,
sun and a sword attack. You can just absorb it with the guy.
You don't have to do the shooting star or whatever it is. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah. So now you're getting a free magic and physical attack. You know.
Yes.
Right.
So
that's great. That's great to know because especially when it's like sun, sword. It's like, well, I can just do, well, true. Yeah. Who's going to attack me with whatever special he's got? Basically, that's what that means. But it's good to know that you could replace, you don't have to do the special if you don't have any MP.
Because when they have like 3 of whatever the symbol, it's like, well, I can't do that 3 times. So but then thinking if you're using Zale and then you absorb that, you can strike. Yeah. So I thought that was actually kind of a nice little like extra thing mixed into the whole boosting thing and the elements.
I like it, sometimes. Oh, it helps that I have the thing equipped where it's like way less damage.
Yeah.
Except there is one person.
Sure.
I think it's the thing that detonates for its special. That one does serious damage even when you have the take less damage equipped. Like it does serious, like you're in the red damage, and I'm like, God damn it.
Dude, I did get wiped earlier in the game than I expected when that thing that throws the bombs out that hits all 3 of you, and I just could not get the timing on that block.
That one's tough.
Yeah,
that one wiped me out a couple of times, and but once I got the timing on the block, it was okay. But man, that was not.
I'm glad I got it on easy mode because that means I'm just loving the game, and I have no qualms about.
Frustrated.
Yeah, I have no qualms about. Well, I don't want to go explore over there because maybe it's difficult. Like I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, kudos to them for including that in a clever way that doesn't make you feel like, boy, I picked baby mode. You're just like, no, you can equip these things if you want. They'll help you.
Yes,
exactly. And I have most of them.
Whereas like Octopath is like, we pride ourselves in just being as hard as we possibly can as we get further into this game.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. In this game, they're like, I don't know what you want. We're a small team and it's 20 hours. That's what you're going to get. It's not 100 hours and most of it is grinding.
I like the world building. They have this like storyteller, Crypt Keeper style or almost Kang the Conqueror style. Who's like seen everything.
The lore girl.
And is it girl or guy? I don't know. But they peek around the chair at you, and they're like, "Do you want to hear this story?" All right, I'll tell it to you.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the girl with the pink hair.
No,
she's
like
a historian. Yeah, she's the storyteller. Yeah, she's cool.
I like her too. Like her, she's very endearing.
I love when she spazzed out when she met you and she found out your soul destroyers.
I mean, like the
funny
narrator
animation
thing at the beginning, and then kind of like as
over the shoulder.
I was like, oh, you're kind of like Kang the Conqueror meets Crypt Keeper a little bit. Like you're gonna like tell us this tale or whatever. Because you've been to every world and seen everything. Like, oh, this story is interesting. Let me tell you this one. Sit down and listen as I tell you this one. So
that's built-in franchise potential right there. We're gonna tell you a different story.
It's gonna be Sea of something.
Sea of planets. I don't know.
Sea of Fields.
There you go.
Sea of Fields. There you go.
Star Fields.
I was wondering if he was in the Messenger. Because this is supposed to supposedly be within like the universe connected, like
of that side scroller game.
Well, that was their first game, right? So they made that. They made that.
I actually heard that it is supposed to be connected in some way.
Yeah, they said it's like in. Yeah, so I don't know if it's like the same.
Oh, that's interesting. Damn, I didn't finish that game. I
got stuck in that game, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
I loved that game, but it was so hard.
Yeah. After a while, I was like, nah, I'm good. I get what.
But it was great though. What I played was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if like in a fun way, it's just gonna be like they're gonna make all these different games from different genres, but they're gonna have like all these kind of like little connection. Like maybe the guy in the chair was in that. I don't know. Like
Maybe it is the messenger role.
Oh my God, he's a ninja.
I did like the way it peeked around the chair at you though. Like it would say something and it would like slowly peek around the chair.
You want to see? No.
But this game is just so charming. It's so it's a love letter to old RPGs, which again, so was Chained Echoes, and so is this. And I love that these games can exist alongside things like Starfield. Two very different games, but it's
great. These games are coming out like, and I'm able to experience what y'all grew up with.
Sure.
In a palatable way for me, and
like modern telling.
Yeah. I think those modern aspects knock down a lot of doors for a lot of people. So I think that while those games are made maybe for us, like plenty of people are jumping on board because of their easy access to entry. So
exactly.
And the way that they're designed are like smarter too. Like I actually just remember because I wanted to mention it. Like I was thinking about it while I was playing. Like even just the way you explore an area is like more accessible and like smarter.
Yeah.
It's smarter. Like the way how, like if you do say like a puzzle and you go up to a second floor and you like hit a switch and it like drops or unlocks something on the first floor, most of the time there's just a ledge that you can just jump right off and you're back down.
I love that.
Like right there. Whereas
I love finding a hole to jump down and then you find a chest. It's amazing.
These are the type of puzzles I like too. Like don't make them any more complicated than what they are here.
But old games you'd have to backtrack all the way back.
Old games this puzzle system would be annoying. So
this would be like, oh look, this ground, if you could jump from a higher level, you might be able to break through this, and then there's a higher level right there that you can just go.
Exactly. If only there was a switch to open this door. There's like literally a switch right up there. I'm like, I couldn't wrap my head around this. It's no witness.
Small little feeling of an old school Zelda game when I opened a gigantic chest that gave me a new ability that now I could get through that first dungeon, that mines or whatever. Like I had just this small little like, a little bit of Zelda moment there. Like not really. I'm not saying this game plays like Zelda at all, but like it just had that same vibe.
That's what I heard you said verbatim.
It's just like Zelda.
Zelda kind of had a diorama look to it as well. So like there's some visual,
There was that little like kind of link between worlds or whatever. That one, remember that one you can go kind of flat into the 2D
link between worlds.
Just like a little element of that where I was just okay, cool. Like I got this new ability and now I can move these blocks around where I couldn't before. And
so I love that that it's designed that way, and it's better for really everyone, and it allows people like Jeff who didn't play those original old type of RPGs that you can appreciate that vibe and that energy of like what we had growing up, but like better because it's actually designed better. And
this is what I'm hoping for with the Eiyuden Chronicles games. That way everyone I keep bugging about the Suikoden games, Eiyuden Chronicles tells a similar to Suikoden type story, but it modernizes the gameplay in a way that feels more accessible. Like that's why I'm not that upset that this keeps getting pushed back. I'm like, it's okay, get it right and like tell
because those are kind of hard games that be like you've got to play Suikoden today.
Right.
Like if you never played it, people are like, I don't know about that. Like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'd be like, no, you need to because they're perfect. Don't worry about it. They're perfect.
Sure.
But I hope that a modernized version, like a love letter to these games.
It's gonna dust off all the cobwebs that like we don't see because we grew up playing them, but like other people absolutely look at and go, oh, I don't want to deal with cobwebs,
Right. No. Totally agree with that completely. So anyway, two absolutely amazing games. And they both have the word star in them. So sorry, Fall, you're not the word right now we care about. It's star.
Yeah.
Star that we care about.